You are live. Well, all right. One watching now. Okay. Let's see. Here we are. Two old guys talking about business. This is my friend here. His name is Jerry. Jerry.
Hello.
Let me turn the volume down over here so it's not distracting.
How you guys doing?
Let me get up just a second. Still going over here. See, there's a delay. Now. All right. Here we go. Now we won't have the distracting video on the TV. Let's see how that works. All right, this is Jerry. Jerry is a retired former full-time businessman. And Jerry used to, if you're my age, you've heard of a thing called TCBY yogurt. And Jerry was the owner of the Montgomery TCBY location. And I think you had several others too, several other locations. What were your locations when you had your TCBYs, Jerry?
I had one in Prattville, and I did have 3 here, and I cut it down to 2 and kind of downsized over the years, and finally sold out.
Okay. So when did you close your last store, or how long did it take you to close all of your stores, and when did you close the last store?
Close to 15 years. I had it for about 15 years.
When did you? Oh, let's do this. When did you open your first store?
Oh,
and then when did you close your last store, and how long did it take you to close your stores?
Opened them in 1985 and closed them in the last one in 2002. And just got kind of tired of the chaos, because owning a business is fun, but as you get older and you're dealing with a lot of children working behind the counter, you run into a lot of complications, a lot of excuses, and I finally just got tired of it, sold out, retired, went into real estate.
Yeah, and you said you had 5?
At one time I had, well actually 4 at one time. I was going to go to 5, but at the time I was married, 4 was the limit.
Okay, and what were the locations of your stores?
3 in Montgomery, and I had 1 in Dothan.
Dothan. Okay, what made you open the one in Dothan? Was it just opportunity?
It was just opportunity.
Okay.
We took it over.
And what kind of, let's see, this is the 80s we're talking about, all the way up to, when did you close your last store?
Closed it in 2002.
2002, so late 80s all the way through 2002.
Yeah.
What kind of income did you get out of those stores during those years?
Oh, it was very, very good. At first, it was wonderful. It was so busy that you couldn't hardly keep up with it. We had thousands of people coming through. But as time went on, as most businesses, they'll suffer a little downcline because people get used to it. You have to come out with a new gimmick. And at one time I did, when I dyed all the fruits green and rented the Ninja Turtle, Mike Angelo, and put him on the radio. We had thousands of people to come in and line up to get the Ninja Power, bringing their kids in.
Oh, okay.
That was the greatest, most fun.
Yeah, I remember the 80s was a big time for the Ninja Turtle. So that must have been around the early 90s or mid 90s when you did the Ninja Turtle stuff.
It was more like I say around, I think it's like 1988 or 89. I think you're right.
Mm-hmm. And how many employees did you have?
At first, I hired my entire Sunday school class because we had so many people lined up around the building. I was giving out hundreds of samples, free samples, so they wouldn't leave because it was out the door, down the sidewalk. But it was very popular. I guess TCBY Yogurt was the first frozen yogurt company that really got some recognition. There was another one they had in Dallas, Texas, I didn't know anything about, but there wasn't nothing compared. I think it was Colombo. Colombo was a great product, and the TCBY got more recognition, and it just took off.
And for those of you who aren't old enough to know what TCBY is, TCBY is an acronym, and it stands for the country's best yogurt.
Yes. If you like ice cream and you eat yogurt, just TCBY long enough, then you won't like ice cream anymore. I really believe that. Because my daughters refuse to eat ice cream over the yogurt. You can still find one in Auburn, Alabama. They have one. They have two in Birmingham, I think. But I just got tired of it and sold it. I went into real estate.
Well, I will say this. I think I may have gone into one TCBY the entire time that I was that they were in operation. I don't think there are any. You said that there's one still in operation somewhere.
Oh, there's one in Auburn, Alabama.
There's still a TCBY in Auburn.
You can Google it, and I think there's two in Birmingham. Oh, they're quite spread out all over the United States. It's not near as many. There's probably over 1,000 stores in Hickenbottom that come up with a concept that TCBY decided to sell to. I think Mrs. Fields Cookies. I'm not sure about that. But I had already sold my company when I heard that. I just got tired of it. I just sold it myself.
Okay. Well, I see we've got someone who has joined us. If you want to leave us a comment or if you have a question for Jerry. Jerry is talking with us today about small businesses, and he is talking about his small business that he ran from the late 80s until 2011 or somewhere thereabout. And he had a total of 4 stores. 3 of them were here in Montgomery, and 1 of them was in Dothan, which is south of here, about 75, 100 miles?
Yeah, it's probably a good hour and a half drive. Dothan, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And Van Mulkey was the one that I turned that over to, and he sold out himself.
Was that the first one you let go, or was the one of the Montgomery stores when you started letting them go?
Yes, Dothan was the first one, too far away.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to manage a business that far away.
Yes.
You have to really trust your manager and the people that work there to do what they're supposed to do and not skim off the.
And it's very hard in this day and time. Yeah. That's one of the reasons I wanted to sell out. I just couldn't keep it under control. There's always some animosity involved in the dealer and the manager.
Well, we've been doing these lives, these live chats on Sundays. We call them Sunday Chat for about 4 weeks now. This is the 4th one that I've done. And most of the time when I do a live chat, I spend the time talking about eBay and what I've been doing with eBay. eBay is a lot of fun to do. Have you ever bought anything off eBay? Do you have an eBay account?
I used to have an eBay account just for purchasing items. But I haven't sold anything on eBay yet.
Well, I've been selling on eBay for about a year and 3 months now. And it is a lot of fun, but this is not one of those side hustles that you can do that's just passive, where you can just collect the money every month and not really have to do much work. Jerry knows about that too, because Jerry has some rental properties, and so his rental properties are for long-term renters, and he just goes around and collects his money every month from his renters, and really doesn't have to do a whole lot unless there's any repairs that are needed, right?
Well, yeah, I like to kind of do small repairs myself. It keeps me motivated, blood circulating.
You do your own repairs?
Not all of them, just minor work, like little plumbing jobs and things like that. Especially if it's a woman that's just renting it. I'll go in there and do the work, like changing the little thing in the back of the toilet or changing a few door handles that broke. Something simple.
And you can do easy stuff around the house, like changing out light sockets.
Oh yeah,
and
minor things.
And power plugs and stuff like that.
Yeah, you change out power plugs legally. You can do that.
That's real easy to do. It's not hard at all to change a light socket or a power plug. It's as long as you know where the white and the black wires go.
Yeah. Well, you touch them, and get your hair done. I have done that.
Yeah, you won't do that too many times though.
No.
Yeah, one time is all it takes, and then you decide it's not worth it, right?
Absolutely.
And Jerry's been talking to me a little bit about Airbnb, and he's kind of interested in doing, maybe looking at the possibility of turning one or two of his rental properties into an Airbnb.
Yes, it looks very interesting. And this right here, what you're doing, the items you have collected, some are remarkable.
Yeah. Well, I was just showing Jerry before we came live. We went yard selling yesterday, and one of the items that I picked up at the yard sale is in this bag right here. And I've already looked it up, so I've got all the information on it on this little piece of paper. So I'll tell you a little bit about it. This is a vintage Hartley flute, and it's made in the USA. And the model number is 9-0-B. The lady I bought it from at the yard sale, she said it was her flute when she was in high school, and the lady was my age, so I know it's vintage. If she was my age, for sure. You know, that's why we have old stuff here on the wall right here, because that's what I am, old stuff.
Yeah, I thought it was pointing at me.
Well, we don't mind admitting we're
I'm
old.
young.
It's better than the alternative, right? Anyway, inside this case is a box, and inside this box was a flute. And when I started doing the research on this flute, I realized that there was one listed for like $250 on eBay, just like this flute. Same case, same flute, everything, except it said sterling silver on the description. So I was thinking, you know, maybe this one's not sterling silver. Maybe it's not as valuable as the one that's listed for $250 on eBay. And then I got to looking and at the pictures that they had, that where they were showing that it was actually silver. And so I pulled the same piece out that they were showing, and look at there.
Actually says silver.
It says silver. Let me see if I can show it on the camera. Well, it's not showing up too well, but it does say silver. Can you see it?
There it is.
It's not showing up too well, but it does say silver. Can you see it? There it is. You can see that. You should be able to see it there.
Yeah.
There it is.
I can see it.
You can see that.
Recognize it now.
You should be able to see it there. So the only issue with this flute that I could tell is it's missing this thing on the end right here. And I'm not a flute expert, so I don't know anything about flutes, but I looked it up, and this thing right here is called a crown, and it screws onto the end. So what I did, so that I could get top dollar out of the flute when I list it, I went onto eBay and ordered a new crown for it. So it'll be a complete flute. It won't be missing any parts or anything like that. It's really in good shape, and it's got this Hartley on here. At first, I thought that was somebody's name, but then when I started doing my research on it, I realized that that's the name of the manufacturer.
That's nice. Really nice. Somebody's going to enjoy that.
So yeah, that was a good find for the yard sale yesterday, and the price I paid for this item was $12.
I'll give you 15.
She asked originally. She was asking $25 for it, but you know me, I can't pay full price for anything. I have to talk you down.
Absolutely.
So I don't see a whole lot of musical instruments listed on eBay, but I looked at the sold comps on this, and they're selling pretty good. They have it over a 100% sell through rate. And Jared, do you know what sell through rate is?
Fill me in.
Okay, glad you asked. A sell through rate is what you when you look up the item and you find the item listed on eBay, you look at how many are listed, and then you look at how many have actually sold. And so what you do is you compare that number. Like for instance, if you have 50 listed and 25 have sold, what's the sell through rate?
Okay, that's pretty good.
It's 50%.
Yeah,
That's not a very good sell through rate. So you wouldn't want to pick it up if it was a 50% sell through rate. On this, there were like 75 listed and about 95 had sold already. So that's about 110% sell through rate. So that's a good sell through
so
rate.
you determine the price for how many has been sold.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair.
It's a lot like real estate. When you buy and sell real estate, I see we've got Brainstorm Challenges on. Welcome, Chris from Brainstorm Challenges. Chris lives in Enterprise, and he has a YouTube channel called Brainstorm Challenges.
Oh, okay.
And he is monetized on YouTube. Do you know what that means?
Oh, really? Fill me in again, because I'm not into YouTube, but I'm going to be after this.
Yeah. What that means is he's got over 1,000 subscribers.
Ooh.
And he has over 4,000 watch hours.
Hmm.
So in order to get monetized, you have to have over 1,000 subscribers and over 4,000 watch hours. And Chris with Brainstorm Challenges just went over that mark.
Wow.
And so now when he goes live, like I'm going live right now with StreamYard, he can actually get money posted to his account if someone wants to give him what they call a super sticker or a super chat. See, I don't have that option right now because I'm not even close to being monetized. I have a total of 91 subscribers at this moment.
I just have several hundred to go.
Well, Chris, are you on your break right now? I guess you probably are because I know you work on Sundays, but you always make a point to come on and say something while you're on your break. So he just made a post, and you can look over there and see his post on there. But there's his post. We're watching it on the TV while we're doing our live stream. Yeah. So Chris is monetized, and he is going to get his first check from YouTube in just maybe a week or so. He's really close to getting his first check. There's my son.
Oh, wow.
You remember Justin?
I sure do. That's Savannah, Georgia?
Yeah. No, Justin is in, he's the one in Chicago. He just came down here recently and visited, and really had a good visit with him. I saw him down in Mobile when I was down there for a law enforcement training, and then I saw him again when he was on his way back up to Chicago. So it's good to see you on here, Justin.
Oh, hello.
He says, "Hey to you." All right. So Justin and Chris, if you have any questions for Jerry, I was on with him earlier. He used to own a chain of yogurt stores called TCBY. He had 3 here in Montgomery. He had 1 in Dothan. He closed them around 2011, started them around the late 80s. So he was in business for quite some time, and now he's retired, and he's just living the good life. And it sounds like he had a really good experience with his time as he was the owner of TCBY Yogurts. And I know Chris is old enough to know that what the acronym TCBY stands for. It stands for the country's best yogurt. And apparently there is still one open in Opelika, Alabama. But Chris, with brainstorm challenges, if you are able to find a TCBY yogurt, that'd be a good place for you to do one of your challenges. But anyway, what was the most challenging thing that you had when you were a small business owner and owned the yogurt business?
Keeping the stores under control, because I had at first, probably 100 kids on payroll.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked sometimes as many as 12 at a time. Keeping people in control in the store when you're not in there, getting to work on time, hearing the remarks like my windshield wipers didn't work, so I couldn't come to work. I was afraid it's going to rain. Things like that you have to learn to deal with when you deal with young people.
Yeah.
It builds a lot of patience. Very good experience in building your patience for life in general.
Well, Justin asked, do you ever dream about getting back into the yogurt game?
Well, not really. I was asked to take over a yogurt store here about 2 years ago. It just didn't spark any interest, so I said I'm going to stick with my real estate.
Well, and you're retired, so you're at the point in your life where you don't want to start up a new career. You want to enjoy the golden time of what you've worked so hard for. But Chris, he lives in Enterprise, Alabama, with brainstorm challenges, and he said he remembers the one in Dothan very well.
Okay, now if you remember the one in Enterprise that opened up, and they built the Dairy Queen in front of it, and Van Mulkey is the one I turned it over to, and he built that one in Enterprise. He closed it really before he even opened it. A few months it was open, and he just got angry and said, "Hey," he called me, and I went.
What did he get angry about?
Well, because the Dairy Queen, somebody bought the shopping center, and the contract said that there would be no out partial where they could block his anything that sold ice cream, anything period that block his view of TCBY that's at the end of the mall with the drive-through. Well, they built the Dairy Queen right in front of the store.
What?
And I said, "How could you do that?" I looked at the legal. We call a lawyer. Well, they sold the shopping center and that reported the contract. I said, "Well, you're just going to have to live with it." He said he refused to live with it, so
yeah,
I went over there and cleaned the store out.
So Dairy Queen was a big competitor with TCBY?
Well, yeah, especially if it's right in front, you couldn't see it from the road.
Well, I think the 80s, the late 80s and the early 90s, that's when people were starting to get woke, right?
Yeah.
So they were starting to look for healthier alternatives, and yogurt was one of those healthier alternatives.
This is true. Yogurt, TCBY had a yogurt that was sweetened with natural gums. It was, in my opinion, the best in the world. If you eat it, you'll see what I mean. It's still in like Auburn and Birmingham. There's still some scattered around.
Well, Justin says, slightly unrelated, but he highly recommends Mellow Mushroom in Enterprise and suggests you try the Magic Carpet Ride pizza.
Oh, I have eaten at Mellow Mushroom downtown Montgomery. Delicious.
He said that personal portion is more than enough to eat just for a solo meal.
It's good. I know I like Mellow Mushroom.
And then Chris with Brainstorms Challenges says, yeah, there's a chill yogurt there behind Dairy Queen now, not too far from where the TCBY was. So it's called Chill Yogurt. Never heard of Chill Yogurt.
Oh, yeah. If you're in Montgomery and you want something close to TCBY, you go to Craze Yogurt on Vine Road. They have a white chocolate mousse. That's my favorite of all the flavors, but it's delicious.
Yeah, and Brainstorm says Charlie, which is Justin, my son. He said he loves the holy shiitake pizza. I almost mispronounced that. Shiitake. You got to be careful saying.
We'll have to go check that out.
You got to be careful saying that.
I know that's right.
Because it may not come out as shiitake.
Shiitake. It sounds like I went to Thailand recently, and I had to learn how to pronounce names like that. This is my sweetheart in Thailand.
Yeah, Jerry just came back from Thailand a couple of days ago. Last week.
I stayed over there 2 months. I just got back.
and he's over there spreading the gospel. He's spreading the church, trying to build the church up.
Yes, they have a lot of people over there that's interesting.
Really admirable what you're doing over there. So if being a retiree and you have several rentals, let's say less than 10, um, would you recommend that for a retired person, or would you say that that's something that the young person could get into? What do you think
Young.
about that?
Young people, when I first started out, I bought. I got up to 37 properties, and I realized that I was over my head. When you got 7 or 8 people having to leave suddenly, and you're managing it yourself, you need a manager, and then you have the manager. I started selling off quick. I got down to 12. I'm down to 9 right now, and then I got they actually 3 sold, and I'm just financing it for them. I'm getting down lower and lower, and just letting people make the payments and take care of the house, because I'm pushing 70, and it's getting where it's a little bit hard to get on your knees and get back.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I would recommend as a small business owner when you have rental properties, especially, is that you don't do any of the work yourself. You know why?
Yeah. Well,
Let me tell you my reasons behind it, and you can tell me why you do it yourself. But my reason for not doing the manual labor myself is because I can't write off my labor by the hour. And if I'm going to write it off, like say I do the work, if I'm going to write it off, then I'm going to also have to claim that as income.
yeah, that's true.
So it's better if I pay someone else to do it and let them do the work, and then I don't have to do the work. All I have to do is call them and get them to do it, and then they give me an invoice at the end of the year. I can write it off on my taxes.
I do that with commercial. When somebody says I wouldn't need a door handle changed because they're broke, I want $60 if we put a door handle on. I can do it for $6.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on how much you have to write off.
Oh, yeah.
If you have a mortgage on your house, which I don't have any mortgages, I've got a total of 9 houses, and 7 of them are rental houses. I live in one, and then we keep animals in another house.
Cat house, literally a cat house. How many cats? 16.
No, there's not 16, but
Oh.
when I met my wife, she had some cats that she had rescued, and she kept them in the house there where she lived. And then when we got married, we moved into the house that's next door to where she lived, which is her mother's home. And so I couldn't, because of my allergies, I just couldn't live with that many cats. So we kept the cats over there, and we refer to that as the cat house.
Yeah, I like cats.
Well, Chris, we appreciate you tuning in to us today, and I hope you enjoyed Jerry and what he had to say about his small business today. You kind of have a small business of your own with the YouTube, and hopefully that will continue to grow and be productive for you, and you'll continue to get those monetization checks. One thing about YouTube that I found, and this is just my little spill on YouTube, if you're going to do YouTube, don't do it trying to make a living out of it, because it's very hard to make a living. Only a very small percentage of people who do YouTube actually make money off of it. And those who are monetized, most of them really don't make a whole lot. They just make a little bit. For every view, I think if Chris is still on, he can tell me for sure. But I think for every watch of your video, once you become monetized, you get 1 penny.
Really?
So if 100,000 people watch your video, then that would be what? 10,000?
Well, that's pretty good. Yeah. So
$1,000?
So anytime somebody
$100?
looks at it, you get a penny.
Yeah. So
they have to watch the whole thing, and then just click in, click out.
let me see how much that be. See, if you get 100,000 people that watch your video,
That's just
that's a lot of people.
that's just $100.
100,000
$100.
times 0.01 is $1,000.
One.
So if you get 100,000 people that watch your video, then you get a check for $1,000.
So he's got 1,000 people.
He's got 1,000 people, more than actually. He's got 1.14 thousand, like 1,140 people that watch his YouTube channel.
That's great.
So let's say he gets 100 views to his video, and then you multiply that times 0.1, that's $1. So,
So once he hits 1,000, so let's just say the next month he only hits 100. He still gets paid after that. For the 100.
yeah. So Chris says it's definitely not one penny. So if you will enlighten us, Chris, before you head out, tell us how much it is. So I was thinking it was that you get 1 penny for every watch of your video. That's what other YouTubers have said.
Yeah.
But Chris will be getting his first check very soon. But getting back to what I was saying about doing YouTube, what you have to do if you want to do YouTube, you have to do it because you like to put content out, and you like to put information out to entertain or to encourage people, or even to help them learn new things. So with YouTube, I watch a variety of different kinds of channels. One of the kinds of channels that I watch on YouTube is a travel kind of thing, where these nomadic people have campers, and they go out and they drive around the country, and usually they don't hook up to any kind of utilities. They have solar panels, and they keep water on board, and so they can go out to like the BIA, which is the Bureau of Indian Affairs land, BLM, Bureau of Land Management land, where they can park for free for up to, I think, 2 weeks, 14 days. And that's what they do, is they go out there to Arizona, they park on that BLM land and stay out there. And then a lot of them are YouTubers. I should say a lot of them. Some of them are YouTubers, and they actually make their living off of YouTube.
Wow. I have watched some of those in these campers. Not very, very often, but that does seem very interesting.
Chris says your CPA rate says it's $11, and you get 1,000 views. You can earn up to $11 per 1,000 views, but not necessarily. Okay, so that's about what I was thinking. If you get 1,000 views, it's less than what I was thinking. I was thinking you get like $100 for 1,000 views.
Well, that's unique. I like that. I didn't know they paid you for YouTube. I just thought people wanted to be recognized. That's good.
Yeah, and Chris also says if your content is seen as desirable and appealing to advertisers, your CPA rate can be higher. But a lot of YouTubers make money not just on the watch hours of their videos, but they have sponsors, and they're different companies that pay YouTubers to show their product, like Simply Safe alarm systems. When there's a YouTuber that may have like 350,000 followers or something like that, or 200, or even 100,000, they may pay them money to advertise their product, and they actually put an advertisement in their video every week whenever they put out their videos.
Wow.
So you're learning a lot about YouTube, aren't you?
Yeah, I heard about singers, and 1 million people tunes in. Maybe I need to sing.
Yeah. If you want this to be your debut.
Well, sure. No, yeah. I like that. Yeah, I played in a band most of my life. I love to be here, man. I can start playing the drums on YouTube, teach people lessons. That's a good idea.
Well, we're about we're about 30 minutes into the broadcast. So now is a good time to bring people on. So I'm going to ask Charlie, also known as Justin, my son, if he would come on and join our broadcast. So I'm going to invite you. I'm going to put the invite out. And anybody else that is watching can also join just by clicking on the link. I'm going to show a couple of the items that I got in the yard sale yesterday. I've already shown one, which I think is one of the most valuable items that I was able to pick up yesterday. And that item was that flute. Now, I'm not going to be able to show all the items that I picked up yesterday because some of them are kind of large and I'd have to go around the desk and pick them up and bring them over. But I got a DVD rewritable player, and on one side of it is a DVD player, but it's also a rewritable DVD player. And on the other side is a VCR player recorder. So it's a DVD player recorder and a... Hey, Justin, how are you? Let me turn the volume up a little bit. I can barely hear you.
Hey, Justin.
Hello?
Okay. I can hear you better now. All right. So how's your day?
I can't complain too much. I've just been exercising, reading the Bible, that sort of thing.
Nothing better to do. That's the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah. So what's
Jerry's,
happening?
Jerry's a member of the Lord's Church as well.
Glad to hear it.
You've met Jerry before, so...
Yes, I have several times. At least a couple times.
I have a lot of students in Ukraine.
Let me turn that down a little bit. It's distracting.
I worked with Russian people for about, I worked in Ukraine back in 1990, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. I'd go back and forth. And we got a bit started over there. And I'm just hoping Putin don't go in there and destroy it.
Oh, Putin's not going to destroy Ukraine.
I hope not.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Well, did you hear about Biden going, getting put in the hospital?
No.
Yeah, he was put in the by emergency. They took him by ambulance. He couldn't stop Putin.
Oh. Funny one.
Oh, man.
He couldn't stop Putin.
Yeah, well, what can you say?
So how's the weather in Chicagoland?
We've had a nice little respite from the overpowering heat. It turns out that while I was down there just a few days ago, it was actually cooler in the Gulf Shore of Alabama than it was up here in Chicago. Go figure. But it's currently it's preparing to rain. It's a bit overcast today. Can't complain too much. Nice and cool.
I've heard that the weather up north is actually warmer than down here. So you've confirmed it.
Well, I mean, at least in the Midwest, in the city. I can't speak for other places, but yeah, it was upwards of 90 plus when I got here on Thursday this past week.
Well, it's a warm one here today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Chris added one thing before he left. He said you can make $1 to $2 on a single day's views if the rate is high. Mostly it's AdSense and sponsors donations. So, you know what?
Donations. Well, now I'll tell you what, I'd like to build a little building in Chicagoland because the closest church is 50 miles. So I'd like to build a church that's going to donate. But send everybody the information they need to build it so they can get 150 members, because that village would love to have a church.
Yeah, so if you want to donate money to the church, how would they get it? How would they donate money?
Well, you can start it, because I haven't even tried yet. It's definitely a necessity.
Maybe you could start a GoFundMe account for the church, and see if anybody would donate some money so that they could start building a new building there.
The king over there doesn't seem to mind about anything like that. I was in China for a while. You have to be careful in China because they burn a house down. Too many people that entered into the house because they don't like that. And you talk about Jesus Christ. long as you talk directly to that person, maybe two people, but it's just too many, they will arrest you if somebody hears you doing it. That's what happened in Sheehan. I was in Sheehan, China for a while. But Thailand is much easier because that king is not really, he don't really care.
They're mostly Buddhist over there, right?
Yes, well, they're the biggest Buddha country probably in the world. 100 feet Buddhas. And even his wife, they've got those now that the people need it too.
Justin has a Buddha that I gave him that I found in a yard sale. It's made out of that special kind of glass that glows when you put black light on it.
Vaseline glass.
Yeah, it's called Vaseline glass. It's actually injected with what is that? It's injected with.
Well, it's a composite of ingredients, but I do know that one of the significant ones that causes it to be iridescent under black light and even in daylight is uranium. So it has small amounts of uranium in it.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So I'm going to tell you about a couple more of the pickups I got yesterday.
Okay.
Look at this.
That's nice.
Interesting. Bose, that's a good brand.
Yeah, Bose headphones.
Yes.
Are they noise canceling?
Let's see. Smart volume limiting, 15-hour battery life, comfortable fit for children age 8 to 18. Headphone lights that dance to the music. Audio cable for wired listening. So you can listen to it wirelessly or you can listen to it wired, however you want to. But these, I looked these up and I picked this up for $15. And I looked them up. These are the clear headphones.
Mm.
So they have stickers where you can put different designs on the headphones. And this headphones in the box like this go for about $89 to $100. So that's a good find, huh?
Yeah, I'll say.
So that's for 60.
Although a word to those watching right now, I would highly recommend using wired headphones because electromagnetic radiation
Yes.
is dangerous to the human body, and if you're wearing it right on your head, you're kind of putting yourself in the danger zone.
That's good to know.
Yeah, keep it in mind.
Those Bose earbuds, are they dangerous?
What
Anything?
about earbuds?
Sorry, what?
Wireless earbuds.
Anything that uses an electromagnetic signal to include Bluetooth, I mean, even Wi-Fi or your cell phone, you want to keep it at least a foot away from your head or your body when you're using it. Because the amount of signal or the amount of radiation that your body receives is drastically reduced even by just a few inches of space between you and the object that's emitting it.
Yeah.
You don't want to have anything directly next to your brain, that's for sure.
Here's another pickup that I got yesterday.
Okay, that's a classic.
These are highly sought after on
I'm
YouTube.
sure they are.
People love these things.
I wouldn't mind having one now.
I paid $2 for it, and they're going for about $39 on YouTube.
Okay.
So that's pretty good ROI, huh?
Yeah.
Return on investment.
Yeah.
Now,
What would that be? Several thousands of percentage profit?
Yeah. Several thousands. I wonder if it works. That's the key right there. If it works or not. And I'll have to test it later. You have to take a screw out to get the batteries out. That's a pain.
That's pretty good.
But anyway, those boppets, they go for pretty good money. And I think you have to pull one, you have to spin one. You push that one. I don't know.
No, you don't push that one. You twist it.
Twist it.
Yeah.
What do you do with this one?
Flick it.
Flip. Like that.
Yeah.
Well, I just read it. It tells you what to do with it.
Yeah.
That says flick it.
Oh, yeah.
That says spin it.
Pretty good.
Yep.
That says pull it.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like you've done this before.
Yeah, I used to play with that exact unit as a child in the Salem house.
Yeah.
You must be pretty old.
My children are in their 30s.
I didn't know what it was. I thought it was like something broke.
You did?
I'm older than you are.
Yeah,
Little
a little bit. You're 70, right?
I'm not 69.
69.
Yeah, I'm longer than 70.
Oh, long way. Also, you remember when you were a kid, Justin, what a fad Beanie Babies were?
Oh yeah.
I got a whole box of Beanie Babies, and that's something that I can just list for days on end.
Yeah, I'm sure. My favorite Beanie Baby was the crab.
The crowd.
I got several of those.
Mm.
Yeah, I do. And yesterday, I picked up one that's really highly sought after.
Is that the Princess Di Bear?
It is. It's the Princess Di Bear. Now these go on eBay anywhere between $8 and $50
Mm.
as far as sold comps go.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know it until I started checking. If you'll look on eBay, you'll see that there's some Beanie Babies that are listed for thousands of dollars. Have you noticed that?
It's amazing.
Yeah, there are some extremely rare ones. Oh, I meant to say, when you're picking, from this point onward, if you can find any good condition Alan Parsons Project records, please grab them for me because I'm trying to have a complete collection of Alan Parsons Project.
I've never heard of that. What is that?
Wow.
See, here's the Beanie Babies, the Princess Beanie Babies.
Amazing.
They're like, you see that one that's listed for $2,499.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you hear the Alan Parsons comment I made though?
Yeah, Alan Parsons.
Yeah, if you find it in good condition, hold on to it.
Look at the price on that one.
I want a daughter after this because she has 250 from Granddaddy.
That's immodest. 900,000. Think of what you could buy with that instead of one Beanie Baby.
Wow.
All right, here's what I was going to tell you about these Beanie Babies.
Mm-hmm.
It's rumored that they were using these Beanie Babies on eBay for to sell in the sex trade.
Oh, I can totally believe that.
You know what I'm saying? The Beanie Baby is representative of the human being.
Well, on Overstock.com, they were selling these lockers with strange names of children from Africa and other places in the world. Very specific names of children who had gone missing, and they were several $1,000s as well.
Remember I talked about sold comps?
Yeah.
You look at what sold versus what is listed. See, this one says it sold for $1,500.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that this is a person that was sold for $1,500.
Wow.
A person? You think they sold a human being for only $1,500?
Yeah.
I think you'd have to spend a little more for that.
But see, here's two of them. This is probably a legitimate sale right here. Here's two of them that sold for $229.
Okay, that's believable.
All right. So I got two of them.
Oh, okay.
And I bought these both for $1 each.
Well, it's the tag itself which holds the value for the bear, so you better keep those covers on the tags.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was about to lose the cover on one. I'm going to.
Yeah, that was very important. I'm calling my daughter after the show because she's got 250 in one box and another 150 I gave her in another box. Every time they wanted the Beanie Baby, I bought them because I thought they was going to go up in value. Then they died. I didn't know they were making a comeback. That's good.
Yeah, they are, especially the rare discontinued Beanie Babies that are no longer available. Well, they don't make these Beanie Babies anymore. They don't make any of
No,
these.
I don't think they do.
So they're all discontinued, but there's some that actually have errors on the tags, and some of them, like there'll be one type of Beanie Baby, but they're actually labeled as a different type of Beanie Baby, and so those are the ones that have a lot of value because of the error on the tag.
Making a fortune in mistakes.
And then I try to stay away from the Beanie Babies because I've got too many already. I've got that huge box. I think I showed it to you when you were here, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
Then I've got another box that's stuff that I've already had listed. But this is one of the ones I picked up yesterday. I thought it was special probably because it has this gold coin attached to it. But it is a I'm gonna probably have to put my glasses on so I can read this. It is a celebrating 100 years of teddy bears. 100th anniversary of the teddy bear. And this one is called Teddy.
Oh, okay.
And the date on this one is 2002. Has a date of birth of January the 20th, 2002.
Oh, nice.
Almost as old as you.
No. I was born in 1991. That's 11 years older than me, or younger than me.
Younger than you. That's
Yeah.
getting there.
1991.
That's over a decade younger.
Well, it's over 20 years old.
That's for a lot of time.
I'm over 30.
Yeah. All right. Now I'm going to show you the next time. Can you grab it over there? It's that in that bag, Jerry. Yeah, hand me the phone beside it. Hand me that one and the phone, both of those phones. You would think in this day and age that no one would buy a house phone. Right? Well, these sell like hotcakes, especially if they have the answering machine. These cordless cell phone or cordless phones that for house phones sell like hotcakes. And hand me that other base over there. This one's a Panasonic. I've already sold about 4 sets of these. They go from anywhere between this is the other set. It is This is the other set. It is it's an AT&T phone set, and there's 3 handsets with this, plus the base, and then it's got the answering machine on the base. But these sets, when you have like 3 phones that go with it, and there's the other 3 phones, I put them in a bag so it would be easier to keep up with them. But that'll go for $45 to $55 all day long on eBay, and they go quick. So as soon as I get this listed, it'll be sold within a week.
Looks like quite the outfit of telecommunications.
I don't know what would be the demographics of someone who would buy something like that, but I would think it would be someone closer to my age or older.
Could be that, or it could be a business that has landlines.
Yeah, that could be the case as well. But I guess the landline phones are getting harder and harder to find these days.
Well, there's not much of a demand for them, I suppose.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to show you another item that I picked up. Robotics are big these days. And I found this at a yard sale. It's a robot kit that you can put together, and you can build a robot. This one is a solar robot creation kit, and you can actually build your own robot with the kit.
I would have loved that as a child.
Yeah, I paid $2 for 2 of these robot kits. Here's the other kit. This one is still sealed in the box, never been opened. This is also a solar robot kit, and you can see on the back the different kinds of robots you can build with it.
Mm-hmm. And can you switch from one form to the other? Do you have to commit to one of them, or can you just do it over and over?
Well, on the back of this one, it shows all the different kinds of robots you can build with the same kit.
Right, but once you build it, is it the only version that you can build, or can you take it apart and rebuild it?
You can disassemble it and reconfigure it
Okay.
to whatever you want.
Hmm.
But this one is, hey, you want to look it up? Let's do a look up real quick.
My nephew would have loved this. 12 years old, 13.
See if I can remember how to do it. All right, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen, Justin? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Can you hear me? Are you
I can
there?
hear you now. I lost connection for a while.
Okay. Well, let's look up this. Let's see. It's called Discovery. Hashtag mind blown. Can you see the screen?
I can, yeah.
And this is a solar robot creation kit. All right, let's see how much it's worth. All right, there it is. There's one that's listed for $19.95, and it's brand new. So it's not a big dollar item. There's one for $12.99.
Yeah, you might lose some currency with the sweat off your brow just for listing it.
Yeah. Let's see how many sold. There's one that sold for a whopping $4.95. Let's see. Well, they're not as valuable as I thought that they would be. I should have looked it up, huh?
That's not the hottest ticket for the tots.
Let's see what the other one that Jerry's holding goes for. So we're going to look this one up.
Education.
It's called Gahoo. Gahoo. 13-in-1 educational 13-in-1 kit solar robot. So we know the other one's probably worth about $15 because it wasn't brand new. Let's see what this is. It right here. Here's one. This is an auction. Someone's doing an auction, and they've got one bid so far, and the bid is 99 cents. But that's not the final price. Wait a minute. That's the sold price. That's what they sold it for on March 23rd. They had one bid for 99 cents. They lost money on that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Here's one that sold for $15.26. This one is brand new in the box, never been opened, so I'm thinking it'll probably bring about $15. But I mean, turn $2 into $30. It's not bad.
No, not bad at all.
Of course, there's fees associated with that, so that's the gross amount that I would make on it is $30 for both of them. There would be fees and taxes and shipping. They got some pretty good, cool robots that you can build. That's it right there. So I'm thinking I'll list them both for 15 each. That sound good to you, Justin?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you would list them for?
Yeah, I'd say right.
All right, let's stop sharing the screen and go back to normal. Yeah. So, I mean, that's still not bad. I only got $2 invested into it, so it's not killer money like some of the other items that I've found. But were you on when I was talking about that DVD recorder slash VHR that I bought yesterday?
No, I actually just tuned in maybe 10, 20 minutes ago. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to sign off here in just a few minutes because I have to tend to something here.
I understand I'm going to have to get off too because it's been about an hour since I've been on, and I usually don't go more than an hour or much more than an hour with the live chat. So thank you for joining me today, and hope you enjoyed the live cast today, the live broadcast today.
Nice.
It was most illuminating. And Jerry, great to see you again.
Great. Let's head down and visit again. Have a barbecue.
We need to go.
Yeah, sounds good.
Hey, what we need to do is all three of us jump on a plane and go to the Philippines.
I'm not so sure I want to be there right now.
The Philippines is where he was born.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at Clark Air Force Base.
How about that? On the way to the hospital.
No, he was born in a hospital, but
That's good.
he was born on Air Force Base. But anyway, thanks for joining us today, and hope the rest of your day goes well. Tell Jill I said hello.
Well, as those of the Spanish-speaking persuasion say, igualmente.
All right. Well, have a good day. Bye-bye.
Right, you too.
Take
Bye.
care. Okay, will you sign off now?
End the broadcast.
Again. Has it stopped?